Morning, may be seated. Prosecution, you call your third witness.
Prosecution would like to call Dr. Pat Sherman.
All right, I'm sorry, yeah.
Please raise your right hand and place your left hand on the book. I, Dr. Pat Sherman.
I, Dr. Pat Sherman,
Swear to tell the truth,
swear to tell the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
nothing but the truth,
nothing but the truth,
so help me God.
so help me God.
State your name for the record.
Dr. Pat Sherman,
Please state your occupation.
I'm a linguistic sociologist.
And what is a linguistic sociologist?
It's a new field of study that combines languages and sociology.
What's the highest degree you've received?
I received a PhD in linguistics from Georgetown University in 1992. I've also received my BA in sociology from Howard University in 1984.
What did you write your dissertation on?
I wrote my dissertation on how words can have different meanings depending on the context of the situation and the knowledge and experience of the listener.
Your Honor, I would like to submit that Dr. Sherman is qualified as a sociologist and linguistic expert who may draw conclusions based on our expertise. Describe any familiarity you have with Bulgaria.
Well, I'm parents are Bulgarian, and I've been speaking Bulgarian since I was a little girl. I also spent 2 years in Bulgaria teaching English to children.
Please describe any connections you have with Kipon.
I know of Keith because he is a highly respected Bulgarian leader in our community.
When did Keith come into your office?
January 10th, 1995.
And why did he come into your office?
He was devastated because his wife left him and took the kids. He also wanted support from someone who understood his way of life.
Please describe the Bulgarian faith.
The Bulgarian faith is a bunch of religions from the Indian Oceans put together. The main point of the religion is that all earthly relationships create a ladder that will eventually lead each and every one to Tava, or heaven. Therefore, each creature must play the role so that the ladder is strong. No role is more important than the other.
Can you describe those roles?
The man is to provide financially and spiritually to the family. The women are to take care of the house and the home, the home, and the kids. They are also to respect the man, husband, and listen to him how he interprets the Bulgarian faith rules. The children are to obey the parents and above all respect the Bulgarian faith. When all these roles are played, it provides a peaceful and productive lifestyle where the people feel linked to a broader purpose.
Describe the Khan's marriage.
The Khan's marriage was a traditional marriage, Bulgarian marriage. According to Mr. Khan, the first 8 years of the marriage were happy. I believe this is the case.
About when did the Khans start falling apart?
About 2 years ago, they started suffering from symptoms of anti-assimilation syndrome.
Can you describe what anti-assimilation syndrome is?
It is the inability to balance between the Bulgarian and American ways of life.
What's the typical outcome for people who struggle with this syndrome?
Usually these people can't go back to their Bulgarian ways again.
Based on your conversations with Mr. Khan, what can you conclude?
I believe that they do suffer from anti-assimilation syndrome.
Please explain why you were diagnosed.
Kanye has been hanging around an American named Harry Sellers. This alone is enough exposure to the Western culture to create this syndrome.
Explain to me what the term wall tears means.
Volunteers can have 2 different meanings, one of which is I will destroy you, the other is I will cleanse you.
Which one do you think he meant?
I believe he meant I will cleanse you.
Objection speculative.
Overruled, she's an expert witness.
And what made you believe this?
Well, first, Mr. Khan hit Crimea. In the religion, a slap is considered a teachable thing and not violence. Heard with the phrase wall turns, it means you will do cleanse and I will assist you. Second, Mr. Khan's voice was calm when he said the phrase. Third, Crimea had disobeyed.
Objection narration.
Sustain.
Mr. Khan had a happy 8 years of marriage, so it would be absurd to think that he wanted to destroy that.
And I'd like to enter questions. David? I'd like you to read the highlighted portion, the fourth paragraph.
Another factor that makes communication difficult is if both the listener and the speaker are from different cultures. In some cultures, like the Hungarian one, a calm voice can at times signify severe disapproval and danger, while in other cultures, such as the North American, a calm voice can mean love and warmth. Misunderstandings often happen if the listener and speaker are from different cultures.
Thank you. No further questions.
Could you please say again for the record?
Dr. Kasherman,
What is your occupation?
I'm a linguistic sociologist.
You grew up in a Togirian family yourself, did you not?
Yes,
Your career is centered around people from Togiria, is it not?
yes.
Your Honor, I would like to enter the witness's affidavit into the record. Could you please read this highlighted portion?
The slapping was not in a violent act is supported by Mr. Khan's use of the phrase ball turns. Depending on the circumstances, this phrase can mean I will cleanse you or I will destroy you.
So the phrase has multiple meanings, yes?
Yes,
This line is in reference to Keith Khan's use of the phrase wall tears, am I correct?
yes.
Could you please read this highlighted portion of the affidavit?
Mr. Khan's tone of voice was calm when he uttered the phrase.
Your Honor, I would like to enter the article Anatomy of a Word into the record. You wrote the article Anatomy of a Word, did you not?
Yes.
Dr. Sherman, could you please read this highlighted section of your article?
In some cultures like the Hungarian one, a calm voice can at times signify severe disapproval and danger, while in other cultures such as the North American culture, a calm voice can mean love and warmth.
According to the article, you say a calm voice can mean danger in different instances, do you not?
Yes,
In any altercation, a calm voice could mean both safety and danger, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. Sustained.
According to your article, then, a calm voice can mean both safety and danger.
yes,
For someone who has grown up in the culture, this leaves room for misinterpretation on Korea Khan's part, does it not?
Objection, Your Honor. I'm sorry, what? Objection, Your Honor. Concluded. Sustained.
That'll be all.
Hey, closing statements, please. Prosecution.
Hello, Judge Allen and people of the court. I'm joined today by my co-counsel Connor Everly, representing Carmia Khan in the case of Carmia Khan versus Keith Khan. As made vibrantly clear through our interpretations of these various acts of harm, Carmia is a textbook victim of abuse. When you think about who's affected by abuse, you only think about the victim, but this is never the case. Everybody that's aware of this abuse is affected. Their 4-year-old son, Michael, is already biting and hitting his peers and even his mother, just further showing how his father's negative actions are rubbing off on his family already. I would like to talk about the reasoning behind the abuse today. The Khan family is a family committed to the Togirian faith. The Togirian faith has a very, not outdated, but a very traditional meaning of a marriage. The man's job is to discipline the family, provide financially, and keep everybody in line. Notice how I say discipline and not abuse. I totally understand the respect for every culture in this world. And I think that everybody should be treated fairly. But when people are stepping out of line and abusing their powers as the head of a household to show their own power complex and hit family members, that is not okay. I'd like to reference the Supreme Court case of State versus Jones in 1993. This court case is eerily similar to what we have today. The whole gist of this case is that social interest trumps religious practice. Notice how I say practice and not beliefs. Everybody is entitled to believe what they want inside their head, but once you take that and put it out on an action, and you're endangering somebody or society, we have the power to strike that down. It's very obviously shown that Carmia Khan was excessively abused. And any abuse in the United States is illegal, regardless of culture. We are here today to protect those abused at the hands of Keith Khan. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Emma Constable. I'm joined by my co-counsel, Hannah Blatter. Marriage is a roller coaster from beginning to end. Emotions fluctuate, people change, and most argue. Not every marriage is going to be perfect from beginning to end, especially one that has to overcome such a drastic change such as assimilating to American culture from one so traditional and unknown known as such a very culture. As I said, people change, lifestyles change, and while that's not an issue, some people struggle to accept the fact that people change. The defense believes that this is exactly what's happening with Keith and Carmia Khan. Carmia is not only younger, which makes her more apt for this change, but she's also made more friends and been far more open to this American culture, whereas Keith has mainly stuck to his culture. The culture that Keith and Carmia vowed to each other the day they got married. Not only does he make all the income for his household, he does it all from owning his own corporation in which he employs 50 Bulgarian people. A man who supports and does everything for his family so much that he makes all huge decisions in their marriage is not a man who would knowingly abuse and scream at his wife. Florida v. Southworth brings up a huge necessary legal principle in this case. It helps bring up the legal concept of sphere of privacy. The sphere of privacy brings recognition to the case where the government has overstepped their boundaries, even because they think it's helping the family overcome their issues. The defense isn't saying what Keith did is perfect. He's human. We're saying that Keith doesn't deserve to have his life ruined from a situation in which he is gradually learning to adapt to, especially one he couldn't have predicted or even anticipated. Keith is a good man. In matter of fact, yes, Keith may have made a mistake by ripping up checks from working or saying wild tears in such a manner that it got misinterpreted. Keith and Carmia Khan are an aspiring Bulgarian couple who hit a rough patch and jumped to the court system instead of solving it out within the home like it should have been. Keith and Carmia have been married for about a decade, which causes us to think if within a decade there's only been 2 instances of an argument which one thought the other was irrational, that's not enough to foreshadow this marriage is falling apart and in need of governmental interference. Judge Allen, we didn't come here today to tell you that Keith is innocent, and we didn't come here to tell you he's an abuser. We came here to inform you that Keith is a successful Bulgarian business owner and a respectable man in America, and an amazing family man. His marriage does not need any governmental interference to figure itself out. Thank you.
We'll take a brief recess.
We are live, so we're gonna pause, but we're not turning off the live stream.
I said that was really good. That's good. I walked around because I was nervous.
And that was
Really? You looked quite excited. It was good. No, like you paused and you looked up and said, no, the sound is really good.
That one part at the end of the whole paragraph I changed to, is that really enough to foreshadow this marriage is coming from governmental interference? And that just sounded so much better when you printed it out instead of using the Chromebook, so you had the earlier version.
Oh, I wonder if we were on my Chromebook.
I was changing it because I was looking at that last
Yeah, I
night.
didn't ask that last question, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't see it, and I don't know how to be like, oh, I actually have another question.
I was mad.
Yeah, no, I was so, as soon as you stop going up the street, that was so good.
Oh, yeah, they stopped on the last year.
The conclusion was just making sure.
It's not.
Yeah.
We're just looking at the audience. Is anyone watching?
Yeah, the whole, like, public speaking.
Oh, hi, public speaking class. I'm an 8-year-old. I'm just trying to make the audience not go through his faces.
No.
I think they are.
Can I color? Can I color?
You do what you want to, bro.
See, we have a loving father.
You know, like, tell them the truth, but.
You're cheap.
Yeah, I know, I have one. One's going, I think you have one.
No. I've got 0. Actually, I don't even know where I heard this about wheel.
It's a piece
Oh,
on there.
No, I hope it's not last.
They make lemon water? I'm not gonna actual cost that.
I said bomb.
Oh, I thought you said and you were
No,
like pausing.
bomb.
I thought you said you were like, gonna be like, oh, yeah.
No, I think Emma was perfect to say. Emma said it so great.
Okay, we're gonna reconvene for the ruling.
Oh,
Based on the testimonies that we've heard over the past several days, I am finding in accordance with the desires of Ms. Khan. I am mandating a civil protection order, which requires the respondent to cease all future acts of harm against petitioner for 1 year. I'm also mandating counseling for Mr. Khan. Prosecution, or I'm sorry, the defense brought up the Florida versus Southworth about the sphere of privacy. Based on my understanding of the Florida versus Southworth decision, that sphere of privacy protects, it does protect the family from excessive governmental interference when it deals with the discipline of a child, not the abuse of a spouse. And although under Togarian culture, it is okay to slap, to instill discipline to the spouse and to the children, under State versus Jones, the beliefs of the religion are being protected. However, according here, laws cannot interfere with religious beliefs, but they may interfere with religious practices if those practices substantially threaten society's interests, in this case, in preventing the abuse of a spouse. So I am finding in this, under the side of the prosecution in this case. Thank you.
Let's go.
do I have to?
Let's go.
speak
Get over
now?
here. Get over here. Look at that.
Bogus.
Everyone has to speak?
I don't know what the closing for this.